My name is Lynn Spencer. I'm an air safety investigator for the National Transportation Safety Board. Before we begin, I would like to express my condolences to the friends and family of the victim of this accident. I am the investigator in charge for this accident, and I am assisted on scene by 3 representatives from the Federal Aviation Administration, as well as a representative from Textron Cessna and Continental Engine. The preliminary information that we have is that this airplane was a Cessna 150, registration number November 714 Lima Kilo. It's equipped with a 100 horsepower Continental 0200 engine. The airplane departed the New Bedford Regional Airport yesterday at 2:50 p.m. The crash occurred at 3:31 p.m. There was one person, the pilot, on board the aircraft, and he was fatally injured. We have seen videos and read witness statements that reported the airplane doing aerobatic maneuvers prior to the accident, and we would urge caution in using the term acrobatics, because sometimes when things go wrong in an airplane, these are complicated machines, and sometimes it may look like someone is doing intentional acrobatic maneuvers when they are not. We will be looking further into these videos and these statements. We're currently in the preliminary fact-finding field portion of our investigation. We should be on scene for approximately 2 days. Our examination here on scene will include an examination of the airplane, the engine, the weather conditions, the pilot qualifications, and any operational or human factors related issues. Here on scene, most importantly, we will be documenting the perishable evidence. And by that I mean the evidence that won't be here if we wait too long. So before we have the passage of time, we collect that information on scene, and then we will remove the aircraft to a location outside of Hartford, Connecticut, where we will further examine the airframe and the engine. We have begun the process of collecting the perishable evidence, including witness statements and interviews. We spoke to some witnesses at the airport who reported seeing the pilot before the flight, and reported that he was cheerful and happy to be flying, and that he spent approximately 10 to 15 minutes pre-flighting his plane before he took off. We will issue a preliminary report in approximately 10 days. That will be publicly available at ntsb.gov. The final report should be out in approximately 18 to 24 months. The NTSB does investigate every civil airplane crash in the United States, and our goal is to learn not only what happened, but why it happened, so that we can prevent similar accidents in the future. Before I take questions, I would like to thank all of the first responders and assistants we have on scene here with us today, including the New Bedford Police and Emergency Management Group, the Massachusetts Department of Transportation Aeronautical Division, and the Massachusetts State Police. With that, I have a few minutes if you all have questions.
I believe that airport is controlled, is it not? There's a control tower?
The New Bedford Regional Airport does have a control tower.
Are you aware of any radio transmissions that the pilot may have broadcast before this incident?
one of the parts of our investigation is to obtain the transcripts of the air traffic control conversations with the pilot. So that is one of the things we will be looking at.
And this type of plane has no black box or voice recorder or anything?
That is correct. This kind of plane does not have a black box.
You said you'll be looking at conversations, so are you confirming there was some sort of communication with the pilot and air control?
Given that this is a controlled airport, that would indicate that the pilot would have been speaking to the air traffic controller at least during his departure from the airport environment.
So far there's been no indication that he was in contact with air control after he took off and he was having trouble. Are you saying anything different today?
I'm saying that we will be getting all of the air traffic control transcripts and that it will be a part of our investigation.
You mentioned the 10 to 15 minutes spent on the pre-flight checks. Is that a standard period of time to do a pre-flight inspection, like you said?
I would consider a 10 to 15 minute pre-flight for this kind of aircraft to be a thorough pre-flight inspection. One of the things we will look at are the maintenance records of this airplane.
And also the wheels of the plane appear to be in a different location than the primary crash site. Does that tell you anything at this point?
What we know from our initial assessment on this scene is that the wreckage is what we consider highly fragmented, which is why you see debris at some distance from the main wreckage.
What could that indicate?
The impact pattern is mainly a result of its initial impact and speed of impact. So those are all things that we will look at.
Looks like the wheels are about 50 yards away from the main impact site. Do you think the wheels might have clipped a tree on the way down, or why would they be so far
So
away?
at this point, we do have reason to believe that the airplane hit the tree before impacting the ground. And so those are all of the things that we look at when we document the scene.
Any indication of where he was going or his reason for flying yesterday?
We do not yet have information as to his planned flight, although the witnesses we have interviewed indicated that it was customary for our pilot to fly regularly for about an hour just in the general vicinity of the New Bedford Regional Airport.
Would he have to notify the controllers of a flight plan of any sort in that case?
That is not required to notify or file any flight plan.
Was there any indication that the pilot had suffered a medical emergency prior to the crash?
So one of the things we look at the man, machine, and the environment. So we are going to look at the pilot, his health, his fitness for flight, any medications. We will do a full assessment of that, as we will the aircraft, the weather, interactions with air traffic control.
The engine on the plane, when you play back those videos that witnesses saw, you could hear that it's revved up, which is unusual. What does that tell you?
So at this point, we can hear in the videos that the engine is making noise. Our examination of the engine will help us determine if the engine was producing power.
Spencer, based on the way the plane went down in the nose drive, what indications picked the cemetery or witnessing talking or the amount of time?
I couldn't speculate as to if he picked this area or if he had any intention of ending up where he ended up.
But there's no debris outside of this cemetery?
Time for 2 more questions.
There's no debris outside of the...
There is some debris just on the outskirts of the cemetery,
How far away would you say?
very close by.
Some people had suggested that this guy liked to go out over the water and go straight up and then straight down. Have you heard those reports we'll be looking into?
I have not heard those reports, but we would encourage any witnesses who saw this flight or saw this accident to go to ntsb.gov, where they can reach out and provide the information that they might have.
Can you just reiterate, I know you said to be careful using the word because he was going in circles, so what could be the reasoning for him doing those circles that you see in the video?
So I can't speculate as to why the aircraft was maneuvering as it was. I just urge caution in indicating that he was doing aerobatic or acrobatic maneuvers. That's not necessarily the case. We have not established whether he was or he was not
If
at
you
this
realized
point.
there was trouble with one of the
Last
procedures
question.
be to dump fuel, I know you're speculating, that's not that's speculation, but would one of it, who just took off, would he be required to then dump fuel? Would that be part of the procedure if he thought there was a problem? He thought he was going to crash or?
He would not have the ability to dump fuel if he needed to dump fuel. I thank you all for your help. I do need to get back to work. Thank you very much.